Holton here. Thanks for watching the Hot Zone. It's been a little sporadic, as you can imagine, since I've been in Ukraine covering the war, and they've kept me very busy with Newsmax doing live broadcasts just about every hour between me and Sarah Williamson, my co-worker. We have been mostly in Kyiv since the war started. We really, with the kind of journalism that we've been doing, didn't really need to go outside of Kyiv a whole lot. We traveled to where there had been some attacks near Kyiv and did some reporting on attacks that happened in Kyiv, but really doing the live reporting, you don't need to be under fire trying to do live reporting. That's just, A, it's very difficult to do. B, it's very dangerous to do because you're giving away information. If I was out on the front line with the troops doing live broadcasts, I'm broadcasting what is going on right there to the whole world, and I could potentially be giving away a lot of important operational security type details that we don't want bad people to know. So better to hole up in a hotel, and it's not really the kind of journalism that I like to do. It is important journalism for sure, but it's really more like, hi, here I am in Ukraine, and there's things happening in Ukraine, and here's what's happening in Ukraine, live from Ukraine, you know, that kind of thing. So I kind of take issue with, I see reports from people making reports about me and saying Chuck Holton is on the front lines in Ukraine. No, Chuck Holton is not on the front lines in Ukraine. Front lines are where bullets are flying. And
in 600 meters at the roundabout, take the third exit onto Vulika Zitomersky.
Chuck Holton does not need to prove anything to anybody about being under fire. So if I can do my job without getting shot at, that's a better option for me. I don't need to get shot at to do my job. We of course went out and helped we're able to help some refugees who were fleeing from Irpin and Bucha, and that was a interesting couple of days. I'm now driving.
Exit the roundabout.
We've driven out of Kyiv, so I actually had to leave downtown Kyiv a day early because they announced a 3-day complete lockdown curfew for from Tuesday to Thursday, and I'm supposed to be meeting my replacement on the Romanian border, actually tomorrow, but I'll probably end up meeting him today now because we had to get out of Kyiv, and not just Kyiv city. They announced this big lockdown curfew for all of Kyiv Oblast, which is the whole state, and so we had to drive like 4 hours yesterday to get out of there. The closer you get to the west, the more refugees there are. I'm going to turn the camera around because you don't want to just look at my face the whole time. I'll let you see what the landscape looks like where I'm driving. So let me turn this around here. So we got out of Kyiv Oblast, we went to Vinnytsia, and there were no rooms in the inn, so to speak. We ended up staying with a very wonderful family in their sort of like guest house, extra house, along with another family of refugees. Where were they from? From Mykolaiv. So there are just millions, literally millions of people who are internally displaced within Ukraine, and millions more who are refugees now fleeing the country altogether. And now I'm sort of joining that flow. So we are about halfway to the Romanian border. It's peaceful out here where we are, although I was awakened at about 4 o'clock this morning by a couple of explosions in Venetia. I guess they bombed the TV station, which, nice, classy. That's really nice of you. Bomb SpongeBob SquarePants. Good for you. Russian jackasses. Anyway, so we are up right at dawn and heading for the border. I'm going to try to get there as quickly as I can because I don't know how long it will take to get across. And we have some logistical issues.
Better route available.
We have some logistical issues that we have to work through with our vehicle. You know, I can't drive this vehicle into Romania, and my replacement, who's a fellow Ranger, guy that I actually served with in the same company back in the day, like 100 years ago, we're gonna meet at the border and swap. So he'll take a taxi from Iasi. IASI is the name of this place in Romania, the closest airport where we can get an international flight. He's gonna fly into Iasi this afternoon, and then he's gonna take a taxi up to the border. It's about 3 hours. It's a long taxi ride. And then I will take a taxi from Chernovice, yeah, whatever. This country needs a desperate airdrop of vowels because none of their towns have any vowels left. But anyway, so I'll take a taxi probably from Chernovice and go south to the Romanian border, meet up with my Ranger counterpart, swap vehicles, and I'll head it to Iasi, and he will head to Chernovice to pick up the rental car with our intrepid translator and fixer, Alexei, and go back to Kyiv. In the meantime, everybody in Kyiv is locked down. Now, why would they institute a lockdown like that? So there's a couple of possible reasons. I don't know for sure, but I can make some inferences from just what I've seen going on. First of all, as you probably know, we've had several journalists killed in the last couple days. 2 journalists were killed, a cameraman and a fixer from the Fox News team, and Fox News correspondent Ben Hall was severely injured and lost his leg in that event. I'm told that they came under fire from artillery or mortars and were hit with that shrapnel. Apparently, they have not even been able to recover the bodies of the 2 who were killed yet, because they're kind of in a no man's land, which tells you that they probably strayed into an area where they really shouldn't have been. That might have been just the fog of war, or it might have been due to the just mistake on the part of their fixer, or who knows what. But bottom line is, that was an unfortunate event. And then the day before, 2 more journalists were shot. 1 was killed between Irpin and Bucha. But all of those events took place in the same area, by the way. And so it may be that they locked everybody down for the weekend because they realize that getting journalists killed is really bad press, and they want to figure out a better way of controlling the journalists in Ukraine. I happen to think that it's actually something else, though. I think that the Ukrainians are starting a large counteroffensive to push back against the Russians, and they don't want you know, a bunch of civilians out on the streets, potentially getting in the way, getting caught in the crossfire. So that's just a speculation on my part. Again, just from what I've seen. So, but we'll find out in the days ahead. I'm coming up on a, oh no, is that a checkpoint? No, not really. You'll see these blocking positions all over Ukraine, but as we get out here to the west, they're not really manned yet. When we left Kyiv, we got stopped about every 5 minutes at a checkpoint and got our documents checked, had to show our passports, and then we had to open up the vehicle and let them inspect the vehicle. They're obviously very concerned about saboteurs and terrorists infiltrating into Kyiv and around Kyiv, so they have instituted these pretty severe system of checkpoints at the entrance, basically to every neighborhood, and then on all the main roads and everything as well, even on the freeway. So that causes a lot of backups and stuff on the freeway. You can imagine when they have to stop all the cars and check them.
In 1
As we
kilometer,
get out here
left.
to the, as we get out here to the west, we see blocking positions set up, but they're not manned yet. So it's very safe out here for the most part. Whoa. I gotta make a big Z here. Is that right? So I go around, take a left. Okay.
Turn left.
Right there at the light. Okay. All right. So we're trying to navigate here and figure out where we're going. Some of the roads in Ukraine are in very bad shape. Some of the roads are not so bad. So we're trying to choose maybe not the shortest route between 2 points, because the roads would be horrific. And also we have to be careful about having Google direct us into a place where we shouldn't be. That could be potentially kind of a new threat in this war that we haven't had in previous wars. This is probably one of the first wars where people are driving around like this who don't know the country and relying on Google Maps to get them where they're going. But Google Maps doesn't have a keep me away from the Russians setting, so it could get kind of dicey if you're driving around and just taking the shortest route and it ends up taking you through occupied territory. That could be bad, to state the obvious. So what's this town that we're in? Vinnytsia? This is still Vinnytsia. Yeah.
It's been...
Look at the car right there. That car.
Mm-hmm.
They got a car it's a Chia Pet car over there. I don't know if you can see that car right over there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a Chia Pet. It's got grass growing all over it. I don't like the way they do their stoplights here. You can't really tell. When you stop at the stoplight, you can't see the light anymore. All right, so we've got about 4 hours to go, and I will continue to make videos as we go along. We'll see how it goes. See ya.